All right, so today we're going to look at the problem between Drummond company and his employees, but this time from the employees' point of view. So, Drummond, the negative effects on the quality of life and the environment of the mining operations affect the community surrounding them and also affect the employees. So, in 18 years of existence, the company has received several complaints and it has already suffered 25 deaths and more than 8,000 labor accidents. In 2010, the Asociación of Trabajadores Enfermos of Drummond was founded by former employees that were fired due to an accident. All right, so why so many complaints? Employees complain about working in inhumane working conditions where standards are not respected at all. Many workers have respiratory diseases, bronchopneumonia, asthma, etc., including lung cancer, especially due to coal powder. In addition, there are vision and hearing problems. So, Drummond claims that all these accusations are false and that the air quality is good according to their control stations. However, several studies claim that these air monitoring stations are not the right place to really calculate the air quality. Most employees complain about two things: the air quality that causes respiratory illnesses and poor industrial safety that causes industrial accidents. In fact, employees are very critical of the 300 pesos mask that they receive. It's a really cheap mask, which are useless. So in order to solve this problem, the employees all have the same answer. They want compensation. Few have asked for closure of have taken legal action, and this is normal given their economic situation. Unfortunately for the employees, there are very few solutions. They have already gone to the states, to the Colombian state, to try to change the situation, but the company is a really big company and it weighs too much on the Colombian economy. This means that it has directly signed a 20-year contract with the Colombian state, and that will bring $586 million in fiscal income, royalties, and social investment resources. It is already known that children in this region cannot go to school because of respiratory problems. They are guilty, but they are untouchable. So this company got out without any problem for having thrown thousands of tons of coal into the sea. So we have some practical solutions for the employees, and they have to be solved by themselves. For example, for the air contamination, it is urgent to find a real effective mask, and this mask should be provided by the Colombian state to try to mitigate the problem as much as possible. So, in the face of industrial accidents and poor industrial safety, there is no real solution except to resign, which may be impossible for people in their economic situation. As a last resort, we have that workers could seek the help of an international human rights organization such as Amnesty International or Human Rights Watch. Normally, the pressure of these non-profit organizations on the states and companies makes a difference. They could also go to committed journalism, which could show through reports the working conditions so that public opinion puts pressure on Drummond. But in Colombia, normally journalism is also bought by big companies. Sometimes public opinion is the best weapon for fighting these big enterprises. All right, so now we have the conflict with adjacent communities. So the second conflict we want to give recommendations to is the social environmental conflict between the communities surrounding the mine and Drummond project. This is due to negative effects on the quality of life and the environment of the mining operations. The communities complain because in the municipalities where coal is extracted and transported, acute respiratory infections increased in the past times. On the other side, the houses are getting cracked by mining operations that remove the subsoil and remove the mineral. So the landscape of the region has been affected by the contamination from coal dust. Also, the access to water has been affected by the diversion of rivers and the contamination of water bodies with the coal dust. So some communities were displaced on account of the mine installations. Activities such as fishing and agriculture have been limited because of environmental degradation. In conclusion, with this existing conflict, the communities have demanded that the government relocate their homes and provide them new employment opportunities. Okay, so we have two groups of recommendations. So the first group is the environmental impacts that are affecting the community. And the second one are the affectations made to the community property by the mine's operation. So in the first group, Drummond should find a way to improve their operation by introducing principles of industrial symbiosis. What does this mean? That they must find the way in which the dust emitted by the carbon can be used by another industry or company in its production process. Finally, the company should enhance its production process so that the emission of dust is reduced. So for this, the best thing they can do is to stop transporting the coal to the open pit. So given this, they would not only reduce the emission of particles, but they would also prevent the dumping of coal into the sea. So in the second group, we have the communities. We think that communities must exercise a collective action in order to organize and demand their rights, a legal collective action. So what they must do is to join forces so that the Colombian state reinvests the royalties from mining in the welfare of these people. So this can translate into a strengthening of their houses or an eventual relocation. In addition, they must join together to demand that the company compensate their damages. So thank you very much. As always, Juliana Bonilla and Pascal made the research about the affected ecosystems, the actor and the conflict. I was in charge of presenting, and Daniel Herrera was in charge of the visuals. Thank you very much.